cubed root of an integer. When I'm thinking about a cubed root, I'm thinking what to the third power gives me the number underneath. The cubed root. So I'm thinking about cubed root of negative 8. What times what gives me negative 8? Well, if I do 1 times 1 times 1, I only get 1. 2 times 2 times 2. Oh, I get 8 there. I want a negative 8. Ah, if I did negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, I get negative 8. The cubed root of negative 8 is just negative 2. What number to the third gives me negative 8? A negative 2 does. If you look at your calculator, you do have a cubed root button. Oops, I hid my calculator. The cubed root button is right above the cubed button. The cubed button is way on the right-hand side. Under that first gray button, you see x to the third power. Above the x to the third, you can see the little cubed root symbol. So you would do shift x to the third, then I would put in my number, negative 8. If I do that, hit equal, sure enough, I get negative 2 on my calculator. So shift the x to the third button gives you this on your calculator. Type in the negative 8. When you hit equals, it should give you negative 2. What's the cubed root of 64? What times what is 64? Well, we know it's not 1 or 2. 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27, not 3. 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4, is 64. So, the cubed root of 64 is 4, because 4 times 4 times 4 was 64. Find the value of the cubed root of negative 27. Well, if you look at the ones we already did, we said 3 times 3 times 3 was 27. Since I want a negative 27, negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 is going to be negative 27. So, when you're doing cube roots, you want to think of your perfect cubes. 1 cubed is 1, 2 cubed is 8, 3 cubed is 27, 4 cubed is 64, and you could keep going with your list. 5 cubed, 6 cubed, 7 cubed, and so that when you're doing these, you don't have to always think about, oh, what number should it be? I know you could also use your calculator and figure it out. My 3 doesn't look like a 3 much there. But that's what you're thinking. The farther you go into math, the more you want to have some of these things memorized, because you don't want to have to look it up or punch it in every time. If you just know 3 cubed is 27, it makes life a whole lot easier. Especially when we get to the next ones.